Danny Gray. I'm a senior consultant at PTI Worldwide. This session is all about why you, the power of your personal brand. Whether you're a people manager, a leader, or someone that's just keen to improve their presence in their role, understanding your personal brand is fundamental in a modern working world. Jeff Bezos, the Amazon founder, talks quite often about your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So just take a moment to think long and hard about that. When you're not in the room, what do people say about you? Because that's a great indication of your brand and the brand that you show to those around you. Now, if we think about the context of brands, we live in the age of them. They are everywhere. More so now than ever before, we can relate quite clearly to the impact that brands have on the world in which we live in. Companies constantly looking to improve their brand reputation, their brand image and their brand essence to create a real stronghold in the marketplace. We don't have to go too far to look around us to find very successful brands. Take companies like Apple and Amazon, Facebook or Instagram, Uber, for example. All of these different companies clearly identifying what their brand means in the world in which they operate in and are true, or certainly trying to be true to themselves in the way that they live and breathe it. We can learn an awful lot from this, and we can learn an awful lot about why a personal brand proposition is so important today. It is what will define you in the position that you hold. If you are leading people, managing people, it's how those people see you as their leader, as an inspiration, as a person they can turn to at their time of need. If you look in society, in your personal lives, any part of that, your personal brand carries a real volume of need and effort in your roles. I guess the starting point for me is this question: why you? If you were, to talk about why somebody should pick you, what would you say? We can often, again, if we relate it to businesses and companies, we can often connect the dots as to why we pick the type of cell phone that we use, for example, or why we drive the car that we do. We normally have an affinity in some way to it, but why would somebody pick you to do the role that you are a part of? So I guess if we explore this, what does your personal brand say about you? It means we've kind of got to dig deeper into that Bezos comment of your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So here's my 6-step process to start to really define your personal brand, but more importantly, put steps in place to bring it to life and start to live and breathe it in your day-to-day world. My first step is this. So let's look at the very first step on this journey, identifying the characteristics you admire and those that you dislike. I think there's a really important part here about you thinking about those around you, perhaps people that you work with or that you socialize with, and perhaps some of the traits that they have that you see you wanting to build into your personal brand. Maybe look a bit further afield, perhaps well-known business leaders in your marketplace or in the arena, or even in the wider public domain. Even such as celebrities or TV personalities can really help to show us the type of brand qualities that we look for and those that we'd like to see in ourselves. So that's the first thing to do. The second thing to do then is to develop your personal brand around those characteristics. I think, right, okay, so these are the things that I really like. So aspirational, driven, enthusiastic, determined, focused, whatever it may be. So these are the things that I absolutely want. You may even look at some of the traits you don't want to do, although for me, I prefer to focus on the things that I do, and then start to think about what that looks like in reality. How do you bring that to life? Because the third thing you're going to want to do is to do some alignment between perception and reality. So you've defined those brand characteristics that you really want to see in yourself. You may have a good feel for those that you demonstrate well already and those that you need to develop and work on. But there's also a third element to this, and that is seeking outside-in feedback. So an alignment between perception and reality is about going out to the world in which you live in and asking people to provide you some feedback. So ask people what traits, what qualities do they see in you, what characteristics they see in you, and what they see you needing to improve on. And then cross-compare those two results. How aligned was your own version of self versus that others see you as? And that can really help provide you with some real great, powerful insight into how you'll now move forward and shape your brand for the future. Number 4, create a brand essence, maybe a sentence that describes what you're about, something that people could easily remember and easily recall. So if somebody asked them about you, that's that one sentence. What would they say about you when you're not in the room? And then in turn, how does that essence weave into everything you do, from the way you present yourself to the way that you talk to people, to even the way that you construct an email or a message to somebody? Every bit of it should be woven through that brand essence. Think about some of the companies around us today. Think about Apple and what they do. You know, if Apple was to make a car, it'd be pretty clear that it would either be black, grey or white. That's the colour palette it would come in. That's the essence of that brand. We know that because that's that message that they give us all of the time. What's your brand essence? What's your black, grey, white car version of you? Number 5, tell people about it. It's no good creating this and then holding it close to you. Shout about it. Make a big deal about it. Ask people to hold you accountable to what you said you're going to do. Put it on the bottom of your email signature. Make it crystal clear what you want to portray and the characteristics that you bring to the circle in which you operate in. And then the final one, absolutely make sure that you do your best to protect it. Don't leave it to erode. Don't let others take it by chance. Don't allow yourself to be distracted and move away from what matters to you most. Make this an ingrained habit that you live and breathe your day to day by. So there you have it. My 6 simple steps to creating your personal brand. More importantly, answering that question, why you? Why you? Why would somebody pick you to do the thing you're going to do? For this time though, my name is Danny Gray and I look forward to seeing you again next time.